Hey, everybody, we're back on the next episode with a drink with a driver. This is episode number 9. We're getting on up there. We're almost going to hit double digits with these. So, not much longer now. As you can see, I'm joined with another host. It's everybody's favorite. It's Glovis.
Really?
How's it going?
Great. Happy to be here again. It's always a pleasure.
Good, good. Yes, it is. Yep. So we always get a lot of views when Glovis is on. I think 70% of your family probably is like subscribers, and so we get good viewing numbers when you're on. Junkai is not joining us because he's decided to go on vacation this time. And yeah, air quotes vacation. And we think last time he was sick. So yeah, he's been out. This is the second one he's missing. So but we did get a picture of him, which I don't know if you saw or not, Glovis, but we did obtain a picture of Junkai on vacation, and we're going to flash it up on the screen there. Everybody can see.
That is
So
beautiful.
he's not drinking a Starry.
He never is.
He never is. That's true. All right. So let's get right into it. So last time we had a drink with a driver, we talked about, GT3, GT4 and this race upcoming. And this was a exciting race for both GT3 and GT4. So we'll just start off at the top. We're just going to hit the leaderboards, and then we'll get right into the meat and potatoes of the race, and we'll talk about that. So GT3, where we stand right now, Zen had an absolute awesome race with at Interlagos. Took 21 points, fastest lap, took the win, catapulted his team into first place. So Zen is currently sitting at 21. Junkai, who did not show because he's on vacation, did not get any points, but still sets in second place with 16, followed by Dirksey rounding out the top 3 podiums with GT3 at 15 points. Teams, where those teams stack up, and of course the teams numbers and standings are going to be the same for GT3 and GT4, but Team Porsche has put themselves in the lead ahead of BMW. Not sure how I feel about that. And they have 75 points total, followed by Team McLaren with 70. And rounding out podium is Team BMW, the best team that there is with 61. Agree? Which team are you on, Glovis?
Mazda.
Mazda. Okay. All right.
We actually want to give everyone else a head start, is what we're doing.
I got you.
So, yeah,
I got you.
we're taking it easy on you guys for now, but
It's a good strategy. It's a good
it
strategy.
is. It will pay off.
Okay. All right. Cool. So talking about GT4, Floody is sitting at 21 and points. He that carries over so far from Brands Hatch. He's still in first, followed by Huge Jar, which is very close at 20, just 1 point behind. Again, we talked about on the last episode, that fastest lap really does make a difference sometimes, and that's an example of it.
And Jar had it, and like the next lap, I'm pretty sure Race Ready took it from him.
I think you're right. And the man of the hour himself is on number 3. You, Glovis, at 13. And yeah, so let's talk about the actual race at Interlagos. Was Interlagos was that one of your choice tracks or not a choice track?
Absolutely not. No. I find it very difficult, personally. I'm not a fan of that track.
Me either. I don't. It's still it still bewilders me that that was one that was very, very high on the popularity contest that we ran. But I don't prefer it either.
No, the first two tracks overall, I was not excited for because both are. I don't think I ever run on my own time, and it is a very tricky track with how big the curbs are and the terrain. Not my favorite.
I agree with you. It's yeah, when I was putting this together and we did the survey and it came out, and I know our discussions within you know, the Discord and admins and everything. I mean, we were like, this thing was one of the top tracks everybody picked. I was like, this was not the one I would suspect would have been picked, and it was definitely the one out of the whole schedule I was not looking forward to.
Not at all. It's a
And
good coming up.
yeah, no, the rest of the ones coming up. I mean, Laguna Seca, that's a good track. Watkins Glen, good track. I mean, we've got some bangers coming. I mean, they're definitely good tracks. Brands Hatch and Interlagos, I did not pick
Not quite.
those.
I
Not
know a
good.
lot of people aren't a fan of Suzuka, but I don't mind that one.
Suzuka's a funny track, you know. Suzuka can go either way, right? I mean, um, it kind of depends on the car, but a lot of it depends on the driver, how comfortable you are with it. And you know, it can go really well for you if you get the flow just right, or it can go disastrously bad. It's just depends on what kind of day you're having, really.
And I think the only time I've raced there was the In the Rain GT two.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that was a couple seasons ago.
A long time ago.
That was an interesting race. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of fun though.
Oh, it was awesome.
So, what did you think about when it comes to the start? So, well, first of all, let's just start that there was a lot of comments. GT3 ran first, and I got a lot of comments that were bouncing through the Discord about the stream not working. Really weird thing. I kind of made a post about it really quick. I don't think I tagged a lot of people in it, but I did start the stream. The system was showing that the stream was running, showed that it had been running for 15 minutes, but it wasn't visible to everybody for some reason. So I don't know if it was a communication error between, you know, maybe PS5 and their network and YouTube or what. But I was getting blown up, and everybody was saying the stream's not working, the stream's not working. And thanks guys for doing that, because had you not done that and these basically spamming me with notifications, I never would have known that it wasn't up and just would have started to race. And once I start racing, I'm not worried about the notifications of the phone or what's on it. And the whole thing would have just been not recorded. So thanks again. And I'm glad that all you guys are watching and let me know. So on the start, which was chaotic for both series, Glovis, I'll let you talk about GT4 first. How chaotic was the start for you?
Oh, it was a mess. Uh, I mean, that's one of the hardest first turns, especially with the grid start, I think. And there was just bodies everywhere. Like, it came out surprisingly clean. There was no real incidents, maybe just a little getting your shoulders out, but it was clean, but it wasn't not tense. It was what you'd expect. So I will give props to everyone because there wasn't anything major. And honestly, the whole race was fine for the most part.
Yeah,
It was very cleanly, especially with a track like that, with how many low speed zigzagging. It was pretty good.
you don't have Interlagos on the little diagrams behind you, do you?
And I will not.
Yeah, GT3 was very similar. It was for the large part pretty clean. There was a lot of bumping, nudging, Just that kind of just body contact that you just uh, you can't really avoid. And um yeah, turn one is a bear in that, especially with everybody grouped up like that, and you go through those S curves, and then nobody gets it all straightened out on that little short stretch before you get to that long sweeper. And it's just the first couple laps were very, very challenging. What was your strategy for the race?
So we went with try to go hard, soft, hard. The Mazda is real bad on tires, so we're still trying to figure it out if it's worth going soft medium instead of a hard stint. But we're trying to stay out of the pits as much. So we went hard because I believe safety car was 13
Okay.
and hit on for softs. And then it was a long way to the finish. So softs, I stretched them out to 8 laps, which is long for the Mazda, and then hards till the end. And it worked out perfect. I know Preston, I had to go in or come out a lap early, but it's just brutal because that front right tire wears out instantly. And when that's gone, all those long sweepers you can't take at full speed anymore. And that was killer towards the end.
Now you guys picked the new Mazda that came with the last update, right?
No, we picked the Atenza.
You picked the Atenza. Okay. All right. So
There's
you
been
went with the
debate,
more familiar.
but we know one is stronger, but that could change with an update. Went safe with it.
That's a very valid point. Yes, that car has come out. It's being used by a lot of people on the daily races for that reason that you mentioned. Yes, it's strong right now, but the likelihood of it getting nerfed in future updates, probably the next one with all likelihood, is there. And then that can detrimentally change your strategy or your everything. So that's an interesting point that you make, and probably a wise one on you guys' choice to go with the one that's more established, we'll say.
Because I know there is an update coming up, and that is the only car in that class with that drivetrain. And the last thing I'd want is to change everything around to races in.
Yeah. And I know you remember several seasons ago when they did the tire update. That was detrimental to what we were doing. I mean, it threw everybody's plans off, everything that you had your notes on, and any data that you had collected on your car was just out the window, and that affected everyone. So it's even more
Hopefully,
so
no one will
if it's just on your
own only
car.
one car.
Yeah, that's even worse. So good forward thinking on that. That was smart. That was a good choice. That was a very good choice. Um, so yeah, GT3 was kind of GT3. My strategy was that I knew that the tires lasted longer in the cold late than they did. Everybody knows that. That's when it gets cold, they last longer. And I wanted to end up on the shortest stint or the longest stint that I could with the tire that would go the quickest, the softs. And the safety car coming on 29, which was the maximum number it could come on out of the available safety car laps that it could come, was interesting because while it fit into the strategy, it also leads to a very chaotic ending. You don't have a lot of time to sort problems out. And so to do that, I definitely wanted to be on the best tire compound I could possibly be on. So I got obliterated in the first 2/3 of the race. I know you watch the stream, and I was just kind of back there, just turning laps, waiting on the safety car. And there's not much you can do on hards versus guys with softs.
No. Especially with driving almost 30 laps before you bunch back up. I mean, people were all over the track. The groups were really starting to separate.
Yeah, my biggest concern was getting lapped. I was like, these guys are so, they're two second and a half to 2 seconds faster than me every lap. And more so in some cases. And they're running soft compounds. And I was like, if I go a lap down, this might throw the whole strategy off, because I gotta then factor in something that I've never factored into a strategy, which is getting a lap back. So I was actually concerned about that at one point, but fortunately it didn't happen. But so yeah. What did you think about the safety car? How did you like
Which one?
either
How I like
one?
driving?
Yeah.
Driving it, uh, it was fun. I actually 2 weeks ago made fun of Chaotica for crashing it. I now understand. Um, on that first lap going up the sweeping right, I almost lost control. Those things are not to be driven that fast. And funny enough, when I watched my replay back, Victor almost did the same thing on the same turn. So it is real fun driving it. It funny enough, my first time was so late into the race because I was just sitting there waiting and I was checking your stream. I was like, I don't know if he's a lap down. And then Victor on comms was like, Clovis, I'm coming. So I went out a little prematurely, but I had no idea. I was just waiting for it, but it is a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool. It's good that you have somebody to drive them, because I think it adds, number one, obviously it adds realism, but it also simplifies it for the field. You have a car that all you have to do is follow. And that's one less thing that the leader has to worry about. They can focus on their race and allow the safety car driver to focus on being the safety car. That's it. And like I say, for the realism, it does add a little dimension, and I imagine it is kind of fun. I know you volunteered and Chaotica did to do it, and I think it was you in was it you in the Discord when we were talking about the admin discussion? You're like, I've already volunteered for this. I got it. I claim it. Was that you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a blast.
Yeah.
I find it funny where now thinking back of the crashing, Zen actually spoke this morning on. He was like, I thought it was supposed to be 35. I don't think he accounts. You can't take those safety cars that fast around the turn. That's probably why, because Vic found out quickly too when I was driving behind him that they will lose control. So there's pressure.
And you're on racing softs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're cold.
Yeah.
They're cold because you've been sitting there for X number of laps. Yeah.
Other than
So
that, I haven't bothered tuning it. Like, I mean, maybe we'll benefit throwing on legitimate brakes, but
I don't know. That's something we need to explore. It might be beneficial, but then again, we're running a BOP race. Does it just take them off again? I don't know. We've never really experimented with that, but yeah, I mean, it's different from a GT3 or GT4 car, and you get out and you're exuberant like you're going to race, and you're in a street
that's
car.
exactly what it was because I was the first. I touched the wheel all morning, and I've never driven the car, and it was just first thing almost just tipped it right over.
Yeah. So, yeah, and the restarts. How was GT4's restart?
It was good. It was around the middle of the race, I think a little bit before, but it was clean. I mean, you had the usual. Some people start early, some people start late, just because it is, most people's first time. Because last time, well, we did actually have Kayaku last time, but still, only second time ever behind an actual car. So, I mean, that'll always happen though, because it's tough to tell when you're so far back and you're just antsy to go. But I was overall clean. I don't think anyone had a problem in that mini S, and I like it. I can't wait to see the safety car go around Watkins Glen and Suzuka because I'll be tough.
Yeah. Suzuka will be interesting for sure. You might want to do some practice laps on Suzuka.
Yeah, I got to do as much practice with the safety cars as normal, though.
Yeah. You have to split your time. You got safety car practice and then race car practice. Yeah. I mean, the whole race, I thought, of course I participated in GT3 and I watched GT4 extensively doing this live stream, and I found GT4 to be the closer, more competitive race. I mean, there was a lot of battles. I know you had several of them. Huge Jar was moving up the field. Floody was making his way up. I mean, there was a lot of good battles throughout the pack, even front, middle, and back. I mean, there was everywhere I could find a clump of carbs,
Everyone,
I was kind of going to it. And it was awesome.
everyone had a fight,
Yeah,
which
they
was
did.
nice to.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome. GT3 was a little more spread out. We ended up mainly due to the fact of that safety car being so long and drawn out. We ended up kind of just sporadically around the track for a good portion of that race leading up to safety car. And then it was just a chaotic run to the finish at the very end, a mad dash of, 8 laps or 9 laps or whatever it ended up being. And it was just nuts. But overall, I found GT4 to be the more entertaining race. Maybe that's because I wasn't in it. I don't know.
No stress.
No stress. Yeah. Yeah. So, so coming up next is Watkins Glen, which,
Laguna.
or Laguna Seca. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Laguna Seca is next. What's your thoughts on Laguna?
Uh, I mean, I've definitely struggled with consistency since moving to the wheel, but I think last race I figured out some things. Hopefully, don't want to speak too soon. So I'm nervous about. Obviously, you can't go off there more than any other track, but uh, hopefully it's a little easier on tire wear. I'm not sure. Haven't run many laps yet, but I'm hoping to finally figure this wheel thing out. That's all I got to say.
Well, I gotta say, you're getting better with the wheel. I mean, it may not seem like it to you, but you definitely, I mean, the points speak for themselves. I mean, you are getting more comfortable and better with it. Are you liking it more now that you've gotten more, acclimated to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a total blast, and uh, it's just qualifying. I've always been a bit far behind Flighty and Jar, but the fastest lap I was off by less than a tenth a second this race, and I just think if the tire where the car was a little bit better, not saying I would have won, but I would have had a better shot. But yeah, that's part of the car. It's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
I definitely just got to learn more. I can turn the wheel a lot more than just a little bit. So, but I'm learning as it comes to me. I'm learning to react to the car more.
Yeah.
So, because there's definitely, I don't think I made any mistakes yesterday on my own, besides maybe one, and that was a lot better than wherever we was the first time. Grandstand.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Zen, I know Zen got his new wheel over, I think the weekend or something. But he didn't use it this weekend. I think he used his controller, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
he's not going to tell us when he does because that's what Zen would do.
I already told him I know when he does, and when he does it, I can
Yeah,
watch the replay and tell. Yeah, we'll know. We'll know for sure. But
that one.
the sooner he gets into it, the sooner he's gonna love it. I mean, there is an adjustment period. We know that. And there's no way around it. It's totally different. You think it would be the same because you know how to drive an automobile. You would think it would just be natural, but it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's very weird. And you have load cell pedals, right?
Yes,
Those take
that's
getting
really,
used to.
and that's I think what's been keeping me up is kind of feathering it. And I think this race, I really saw improvement with that because I know Jar, I think he might be on wheel. I'm going to say he is just for the case. And Floody, I know is. And I think that's where that just extra time I wasn't having was just a lot of learning the how far to press the brake. But that does take time. And when you use control your whole life, makes sense.
It is. And even going from, did you have a Logitech before this, or what were you using before? You just went straight controller to wheel this. Okay.
Whatever Cal gave me, yeah.
I got you. I got you. So, yeah, even going from a Logitech to a load cell is equally as different. And getting used to a load cell, you took it to the extreme. You just skipped over any introductory wheel and just went straight to load cells and all that. but when you get that load cell, and for any of you guys that are looking at getting load cells or direct drives, belt drives, whatever, load cell pedals are by far the most important piece of your equipment that is going to help you improve driving better than any single other piece that you have. And the difference that it works, it doesn't work on a distance of travel, it works on pressure. And it takes a lot of muscle memory and just getting used to it to know, how that thing works, because it's 180 degrees different from a Logitech pedal, for example. So for you guys getting them, newly getting them, thinking about getting them, stick with it. It's worth it in the end. And I can't say enough great things about them. They're great, right?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a
So
blast.
so at Laguna, that'll be round 3, and then we go to Watkins Glen, right? Yeah, Watkins Glen next. Are you looking forward to Watkins Glen? The Mazda?
I think so.
That's
Uh,
Zen's track,
it is. I was just gonna say that is Zen's track. Very much so. I know he. I believe he's the one that hates Laguna, right?
I believe he's won there twice.
But he hates it.
He hates it.
Oh, I thought he hates. No, I'm talking. He hates Laguna.
No, I think he said Watkins Glen he hates, but he's good at it.
He is very good at Watkins because I remember last GT3 he ran away with it.
Yeah. I think he's done that twice at Watkins Glen. Each time we've been there, I think he's won. As a matter of fact, I think those are the 2 tracks he beat Junkai at, and Junkai was upset because he never could beat him. And this time he's coming and he's going to be in a Porsche.
Yeah,
So
and yeah, I think Junkai might still be on vacation then. So I guess I don't know if we'll get to see it.
yeah, who knows? Who knows where Junkai will be? Yeah, maybe he graces us with his presence when he comes back for Spa.
Yeah, that's really pushing it though. I mean, that's minimum, in my opinion.
So a lot to look forward to in GT3 and GT4 both, right? We've got a stacked schedule. Again, you guys picked for better or for worse. So if you love it, if you hate it, you're
This is
welcome.
their fault.
This is their fault. They did this. Yeah. Take all the praise or all the blame, whichever. And next week, kind of to recap, we're going with Sunday Cup. So that'll be the next Sunday Cup round. And I forgot to mention when we talked earlier, this is going to be round 1 of the Miatas with Besso's group's new league, right?
I believe
It
so.
is.
Mazda League, yeah.
Yeah, the Mazda League. So we have Sunday Cup starting us off, which is going to be the Corvette Challenge, which is going to be at Road Atlanta, Willow Springs, and Grand Valley Highway 1. And then immediately after that, just like we do with GT3, GT4, we're going to go to Mazda, round 1 of the Mazda Cup, I believe it's called, which is totally a series developed by Besso and company. And they have put this together, and I think it's going to be awesome. Are you planning to race in it?
Not yet.
No?
I will pay attention though. I will be a spectator, but I will not participate.
Okay. All right. Well, I will be racing in it because Miatas are super fun. And I think this is going to be a great series for just the fun factor, number 1. And I think it's going to be a great series for education for people new, existing, experienced drivers to improve, maintain your driving skills. These cars handle pretty good, but they also are twitchy in a way that will teach you a few things and keep some kind of things sharp. So I think it has potential to be a really great series. You're just gonna
Maybe
spectate?
go experience. Maybe I'll hop on. I'm trying to minimize other cars I drive until I hit the learning curve of the wheel.
I got you. Okay, so you're specializing is where you're going with your strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, you know, we'll see. We'll see. You
Maybe I'll
guess
make an
what?
appearance. You have a fun night coming up. So maybe a good
Yep.
way to test it too.
Yep. Talking about Sunday Cup, we'll recap real quick on that on the leaderboard. Zen is leading that with 66 points. Of course, he pretty much dominated the Clubman 600 with his little mini, as we all know. So, yay, Zen won with his mini. Congratulations. Woohoo. We're real excited. Bad Rock is setting second with 61. Not far off the lead, to be honest. And then Besso's rounding out third with 57. So Sunday Cup is still pretty close. Even with the domination factor of Zen's mini. We'll see how Zen does with Corvettes next weekend.
There's a lot of other good races coming up there too.
There is. And did I drop the rules on the if it fits at ships yet? I think I did, didn't I? I did. I did. I put the rules out for if it fits its ships. So this is gonna be Glovis, you gotta participate in this one. This is gonna be a lot of fun. This one, we're driving the Alphard. I don't know what the Alphard, I guess it is. Executive Lounge.
No tuning allowed, I see.
No tuning allowed. Sport medium tires. With dirt, you obviously need dirt because we're running at Sardinia Windmills.
And Tokyo, one of the best tracks.
And you have to make 2 pit stops. So I highlighted this in the rules, just so everybody knows. You have to make 2 pit stops. You don't have to take tires. You don't have to take fuel. But you're a delivery driver. You have to have a delivery themed vehicle, and you have to make your stops. So 2 pits each race, anytime you want to, at any point in the race, as long as you make 2, because you have to stop. You got to deliver your packages. So
That'll be fun.
I don't think anybody's put the executive lounge on a dirt track yet, but we will. So you need to participate in that one, Glovis. That'll be a good one. That'll be good practice for a wheel.
Oh yeah.
And we still got to put together an endurance race, guys. I know we touched on it last episode. You know, we're still trying to piece that together, trying to see where we can work it in around the holidays, because as we all know, once Thanksgiving and Christmas come here, everybody's got things going on. And then we kind of start off January as kind of the season's kicking off for all the next seasons for Sunday Cup and for GT3, GT4. So we're going to try to squeeze one in if we can. But, you know, the more it's kind of looking like it might be a limited participation type deal, and that might maybe not be as fun. And maybe we just table it to 2024. But we're still in discussions about that. We haven't forgot about it. We're going to do it again. Yeah. Are you looking forward to another endurance race?
Those are fun.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty good. So what's your opinion? What do you think the next one should be?
I know we're trying to do the Ford versus Ferrari, and I think about a half year ago I gave an idea on how to do that. Very complicated as usual, where everyone's in a class of Ferrari and you're only racing one person, but it's a team race. Kind of like Mario. I don't know. Maybe Mario Kart. Maybe Hot Wheels on PlayStation 2. However, I got the idea from, but that's what I would go with. But if not that, maybe like I know it's hard to tune it, but take like a endurance race from Gran Turismo 3 or 4, like Laguna Seca, 90 laps, American cars only. Like that would be fun.
That would be
Yeah,
fun.
now you're interested.
That would be a good one. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because that's kind of interesting. That's kind of a big thing within the community, and you see it within some of the YouTubers and everybody's talking. And a big thing is they want the endurance races back,
I mean,
that they used to have back in the day.
well, apparently this update's supposed to be big. Uh, I doubt we'll actually be happy with it, but uh, and I think stuff like that. You have the 90 laps at Laguna, the Grand Valley 300 kilometers. All of it would be fun in a way to recreate.
Well, it's safe to say with the next update that they're talking about is there's going to be a track. Everything I've seen, there's coming a new track. I hope it's actually a new track and not a new layout. But it seems like there's going to be a new track because on the Nations Cup or one of the two, they've got a to be a
Yes,
determined. Yeah. And I think that's going to be that new track. That's pretty much the general consensus among people. And so, at least maybe out of this update, we'll get a new track. I'm sure we'll get massively disappointed as we usually do with Polyphony's updates. And
we got a Sylvia, we got another Sylvia.
we're going to give you a school bus. We're going to give you an ice cream truck.
That wing and the Ecto one.
And the Ecto one. Yeah, we know you guys have been asking for all these cars, but everybody really wants a school bus to drive around. So, yeah, we'll see what they come with. Hopefully, it's good. Um, hopefully we get an actual real track out of it. If we do, we might be able to incorporate it in the Sunday Cup schedule before the end of the year with something, maybe even the last Clubman. So
That could be the endurance. Low stakes, just throw on some silly car, BOP, and Merry Christmas.
we we could just do an endurance race. It'd be the kamikaze race. It's the day of the update, and you have to do a 2-hour endurance in a Fiat 500 on whatever the new track is.
No practice, nothing.
No
As soon as
practice.
update, because it's for us, I believe it's like 1 or 2 a.m. that morning.
That morning. Yeah.
Everyone call off work. Well, if it is one track, what would you choose? Because I know everyone has a wish list. If you have one track to add,
Road America, but I don't think it's going to be it. I don't think that's going to be the one they give. But Road America would be a good track, or VIR. VIR would be another good track that I'd like to see. What about you?
I'd probably go one of the original ones. Uh, I would love for that Seattle track to be back. That's probably that would
Yeah.
uphill. Or honestly, I feel if we could have a really high speed track, like remember the Soul Circuit, very rarely used in GT4. I don't know if there's any of the other ones, but you're basically driving in a straight line for a majority of the time.
I remember there was a track similar to Tokyo, and I think it was GT2. That was at night almost exclusively, and it had a very long straight. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that one. What is that?
Stage group that's special stage group 5, and that is an awesome track.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one I remember. I did that one a lot. I think they had an endurance race on it.
They did, and then I know in the later games they only had like 2 rain races, and that was where they were.
Yeah,
Which sucked. It was at night, and but I know they were kind of against doing city tracks because they're a lot of work, but that's their job. So
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been waiting all this time. I mean, this game has been out for a long time now, and we're still waiting on basic updates, and we're getting things, and it's time to come with some good stuff. Give us a new track, one that people want, a real world one preferably, but again, we'll take anything. I mean, a legacy track, whatever. but they did a good job with Grand Valley.
That
You
was
like Grand
awesome.
Valley?
I do. I prefer the older one, but that's just nostalgia reasons.
I agree. I do like the older one, for the same reasons you said. But they did the execution was good with this one. They did a good job. So give them credit on
It
that.
was
But
the
huh?
with that around the VR with that around the VR update. I think that's probably why they went that turn. Is driving that in a convertible is what they're aiming for you to look at Gran Turismo.
It's true. That's what I'm running in the Corvette challenge. So I'm running a convertible. See if that narrows it down for anybody. uh, all right. Well, so are you, we got some practice to do before the next GT3, GT4 race. Yeah.
Got
I
a
guess
livery to make, of course.
you're doing a new livery. You do a new one for each race.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to share which one it's going to be, or is it a secret?
Last week was throwback. This next following week, because I was throwback round two, we're going the Do SA. So I think that's also around Veterans Day, so it works out. So we're gonna be dressed in the stars and stripes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. I'll wait with bated breath. So, yeah, everybody get your practice in, get your strategies built. We got a little less than 2 weeks now until round 3. And then next weekend, like I say, we got Sunday Cup Corvette Challenge. So go get a vet and come on out and see how you do. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for filling in, on short notice, for Junkai, who is on vacation. And joining us again. We know you're a fan favorite. So
There are many people aware of where I'm at right now, so I believe the views will go up.
well, for Glovis, click the like button. And we'll see you on the next episode of A Drink with a Driver. Good night.